Hello, beautiful ascending ones. Hello, Mr. Jacoby. Oh, so I'm filming this on Saturday, back in the heart. You see the heart, little bottom of the heart, or the top. Pluto's ingress into Aquarius, so it's like all changing of the guards, everything that we knew is now turning into the new. And this can be quite a ride for many. And dare we talk about death? You know, this is a subject that is never spoken about on an honest level without huge fear coming up. And by the way, these videos are timeless. If you have stumbled across this, and there'll be a message, there'll be a coded message for you, and take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. Death and how we communicate with each other. How are we communicating that subject? Many of us have come into these journeys, these soul journeys, experiencing death maybe at a very young age, in one way or another. Maybe we didn't experience death on a immediate level later on in our lives. My condolences go out to anybody that is in that state of loss and grief. And I hope that people who have lost anybody are allowing themselves to grieve. I grew up with death on a quite close proximity as a child. It was suicide, and so as a very young child I had lots of questions and never had them answered ever. And this is a conversation that I've always found people around me, you can feel they get uncomfortable, and it's like a taboo subject. And why is it such a taboo subject when it's life? When it's happening all the time and on a bigger picture level, it's not the end. It's just beyond the veil. But because we've been so programmed to only believe things that we can see, hear and touch, it's forgotten, never spoken about again. And I found myself in my own journey to myself, communing with the dead all the time, and knowing that they are my guides, they are my ancestors, guiding me to places maybe they dare not go. And now I work ultimately with the codes that I speak to you, and the messages from all of our ancestors who have been buried under secrets and lies and the taboo subject we mustn't talk about. There was an exercise about, writing down the way you would like to die. There we do exercises like that. Writing down in the ways that we don't want to die. Where are we at on that subject? The subjects of death and sex are not talked about. It's just this huge fear. And now we're seeing death on a mass scale How are we handling that? How are we seeing it? In my knowing, many have chosen to come in and out to give lessons to those that have been left. The suicide ones especially. And I do believe that they are naughty Buddhas and they come back as dogs to teach us unconditional love. The looping of incarnation. And when we're seeing death on a mass scale, as we are on the planet right now, can we even fathom that these are soul groups that have signed up to come in and out, to awaken the heart, even if that is through grief, loss, and wrenching? I give thanks to those souls and I honor them with my codes, with what I speak in the heart chakra of the planet, knowing that I'm transforming fear into love by giving them voice through my vessel that I have given over to spirit as my service work to humanity. In these changing of the cycles of Pluto, we enter in to a miraculously different planet Earth. And I give thanks to those that have been doing the work, who are creating this happening of awakening, as dark as it may seem. Let's look at our own darkness before we judge the darkness outside of ourselves. Let us talk about death in a manner that is immortal. We are immortal beings having this experience, as whimsical as it may sound. And isn't it interesting that the pathway that can instantly get us to that knowing is when we experience death of another, when we grieve. Because when we grieve, our ancestors are communicating with us. And even the soul that has died is hugging you so tightly to squeeze those tears out of you. And sometimes the untimely deaths bring in revenge and anger. And we loop again in this war energy where we just need to trust. Let us just trust in the process and bring it back to the heart. So these codes today, to transmute the fear into love on this day of the 20th of January, to bringing in the new Aquarian energy, the future rebellion, the peaceful rebellion, where we rebel with love and boundaries and trust. If my videos resonate, please like and subscribe. And if you feel like donating to this guy and myself, it's so appreciated and it really, really helps. I hope you can hear with this wind with my dodgy speaker. I hope this has come through and I hope this message finds you well. Mama masatiki titile, kelele dalanama. Yema masatitile kiededilo, kiedele malanama. Yema masikitile kiepapali dalidile, kiema masatele kiedile. Yema masibatitile kiedele, kiepapalene malene. Kiedidi papapalele, kitima di dalinele, kiedidi papalati la da la. Kiedidi papatilele, kiedidi papaladi me, kiedidi tula kialena. Ya brigiti titile, e papale lagile, kiri mama tala nala do, oh. I get titile, kiedidi batila nime, kiedidi batitale dalilo. Ke papale kiti mama, ke papasa kiti talenida, ke mama se patile lo, oh. Kiedidi papatilele, kiedidi papalani me, ke man get titile kialilo, oh. Ke papale kiti mama tile kiti, papale kitale kitile, ke papatale kitale na malana. Kiedele kitile, kiedele, yetete mama ni dalana lana. Haux Haux. Your beautiful, beautiful changing faces. And there's the tiny little tower of remembrance. Let us, on this day, remember the power we have humbly, where the humble God emerges from within you with your knowing and your inner love for yourself. I love you all so much, and I give thanks to all of you.